personal choice of what you want to do for yarn. This is a great round to use up some scrap yarn that you may have, because it's not going to connect up to anything later on. It really is sort of a standalone row or round with a bunch of double crochet that we're going to do over these stitches just to have some interest in it. So here I have some slightly variegated yarn that's got different colors of blue all the way to white. It's a great round if you do have some yarn like this, any kind of variegated yarn or multicolored yarn. It really looks great on this round. If you don't have anything like that that's the same weight as the yarn you're using, really pick the color of your choice. Anything you like goes. Because like I said, this doesn't have to connect up to other rounds or anything like that. So it really is just a little standalone pop of color. So to start, we're going to start in one of these front post stitches that we have here. Anyone will work. The one trouble with this yarn is it's really pretty, but it splits all the time. So it's difficult to work with, but I like the color, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Start with a chain. That's going to count as our first single crochet, and we're going to do 4 single crochet before we do the overlay stitch. So that's 1, this is 2, 3, and 4. Now the next stitch is going to be a double crochet, where we're not going to go into the purple, we're not going to go into the pink, we're going to go down into this white stitch here. So double crochet, and you want to go in the same stitch here, just go down. So not, that means this one right here. Make sure you leave it loose enough to come all the way back up to the top. And actually it works nicely. It pulls these stitches up a little bit, so that gives you even a little bit more interest. If you want to double check where you are, you notice we're 2 in front of this overlay section right here. We'll skip this. We're going to do another 4 single crochet and a double. So 1, 2, 3. Like I said, I'm sorry this one takes a little time for me because the yarn doesn't play always very nice with others. I have 2. 3 and 4. Now we're going to do another double crochet, not into the purple or the coral, but down into the white right here. Skip 1, 4 more single crochet, a double crochet, not into the purple or the coral, but the white below it. We're going to skip 1 now. Remember, we started with this overlay back here. That means we're getting really close to where we're going to end this repeat. So we're going to skip this guy here. We're going to do an increase on the next stitch and finish out the repeat with just 1 single crochet. And you notice that brings me to the front post stitch from the last round, which is where we want to start. So if you look at this again, sort of sections of 4 here. So we're going to do 4 single crochet, a double crochet into the white round, 4, skip this, 4 single crochet, a double crochet into the white round, skip the stitch, 4 single crochet, a double crochet into the white round, skip the stitch. We'll do an increase and then a single crochet to finish it out. All right, we're round 20. we're going to add or join in our dark blue here, which is going to kind of blend right into this variegated, but it'll go nicely with whatever color you had picked for the previous round. We're going to join into a double crochet, but we got a lot to choose from, so we're going to pick one that's immediately after the purple stitches, the front post stitches that we have right here. So we will join in this double crochet. That chain stitch will count as our first single crochet, and for this round we're just doing single crochets with an increase in there. So to space stuff out, we're going to do 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do an increase. So that's 2 in the same stitch. And now we're just going to fill the rest of this section in with single crochet. So you remember we started in a double crochet after the purple front post stitches, so to finish this out we're going to do 11 single crochet just to get to that point again. So there should be 11 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 should be the last stitch. Split it there. 11 should be the last stitch before our overlay stitch, that double crochet right there. So for these repeats, you're going to do it 8 times around. You're going to join in a double crochet after the purple stitches. You're going to have 6 single crochet, an increase, and then fill in the rest of the space there with 11 more single crochet. And that should get you to the next double crochet after the purple stitches. So that pattern all the way around. One more time. 6, increase, 11. That's it. All right, so we're just about to start round 21. We're going to go back to the white yarn, and we're actually going to connect these 2 elements together so that this white comes around and connects up to these purple little bubbles right here. So to do that, we need to find an increase from our last round, and I've got one right here. We want to join in the second stitch in the increase, so as always, back loop only. Join using 1 chain stitch. That'll count as our first single crochet. So for these repeats, what we're going to do is 10 single crochet first. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So right now we're going to do a front post treble crochet around both of these stitches right here. So around this front post 2 together that we did previously. So treble means we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to go underneath these purple stitches together right here as if they were just one. Go around it, finish off the stitch. After that, we're going to go ahead and skip the next stitch because we're counting this as the stitch instead. So we'll skip this and do 2 more. single crochet. Next one, we want another front post stitch that's going to connect up to the white ones that we have here from before, finish off this sort of arcing part. To do that though, treble isn't going to be enough, so we're going to do a front post double treble. So yarn over 3 times, not 2, and finish the stitch out, going around the white front post stitch below. So 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, we're going to skip 1 and do 5 single crochet. If you notice, that 5th stitch brought me into the increase here, so I did the first stitch. That leaves the 2nd stitch in the increase open for us to start our next repeat, the same place we started the first one. So looking at this again, we started on the 2nd stitch of an increase, 10 single crochet, a front post treble around this 2 together stitch so that we grab it together so that these can connect up. Try not to actually hook that, sorry. So that these guys connect up. Do skip the stitch, do 2 more single crochet, then yarn over 3 times for a front post double treble here. So instead of twice like we yarned over here, yarn over 3 times for this guy, skip the stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish out the repeat. You'll notice for this round there are no increases of any kind, not a hidden increase, not an actual increase, and the reason is that we increase 8 stitches every round, and eventually it's a little bit too much and it starts to get a little wavy, so we're not doing an increase in this round to let things stay as flat as possible. So this round and the previous round actually have the same number of stitches. So we'll do the repeat one more time together, and you're on your own for the rest. So 10 single crochet starting in the 2nd stitch of the increase. This one's 10. Going to do a front post treble, so yarn over twice. Come in here underneath the purple stitches. Wrap around both those guys right there. Finish out the stitch. Skip 1. We'll do 2 more here. See if I can yarn knot my yarn again around my hand. 2 more single crochet, and now yarn over 3 times to do the front post stitch into this one. Skip that stitch and finish out the repeat with 5 more single crochet. And this 5th stitch should be the first one in an increase from the last round. That's how we know we finished the repeat on the correct count. And that's what we get, like I said, connecting these guys up. And that'll actually be the end of these spirals for us. Go ahead, do it 6 more times to finish the round.